minutes, you have to, so 2 minutes, then you have to write 120 seconds. You have to write in seconds. Suppose I said 5 seconds. Then what happens is, now this page will refresh every 5 seconds. You observe now, this is our page. This is our page. So this is our page. And observe carefully, in that page, you see this refresh button. You keep noticing that refresh button. So this refresh button, every few seconds, it is reloading. You can see it flickers every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, that refresh button is flickering. That means it is loading the page. But we don't have any information inside the page to show. Remember, whatever you written in Meta is not going to display inside the page. It is not going to display inside the page. So then why you written all this Meta? So this is all is used in SEO, search engine optimization, and request handling. So we don't use this for displaying any content in the page. But Meta has a lot of other options you will learn in later stages. Initially, this is enough. Meta has a responsive design. Responsive design better to learn in CSS. So I am not going to tell that responsive design here. We will learn in CSS. When we learn CSS, some more options we will discuss here. Initially, Meta means metadata. Means it contains information about your page, which is used by SEO to understand what your page contains and show in the search results. Many times people ask this question, without Meta, can I write a page? Can I design a page? You can design a page without Meta. Without Meta, you can design a page. But that page will not be in search results, in Google search results. If anyone is searching, then that will not be displayed in the search results. If there is no proper Meta, then robots will ignore your page. They are not going to display that page. They will ignore that page. That is very important to understand. So Meta is very important to make the page more search engine friendly. So initially in Meta, you have seen 4 options: character set, keywords, description, and HTTP equi. That means every few seconds it will refresh and handle that. So this is the important option in the head section. So in the head section, we have a title, we have link, and we have Meta. Script and the styles are not now. We will learn them when we are using JavaScript and CSS. When we are learning JavaScript and CSS, you will learn how to write the scripts, how to write the styles. As of now, you should know that script is an element. Script is an element used to embed. You can embed any script into the page, It can be client-side script, or server-side script also. Server-side script also you can embed into the page by using script. So later you will learn, because that you will generally learn in the concept of JavaScript and all. Styles, we have a style tag. So this is used to embed styles into the page. Styles are used for making HTML page more effective, attractive, which you will learn in later stage in CSS. We will discuss about that. So in head section, other than title, link, Meta, you can have script and styles also. But we cannot learn them. We cannot use them. I cannot even show you an example of them, because for that we need to first know styles and scripts. So this is enough to understand in the head section what contents are present. But whatever you designed in the head section, this is not going to display anything inside this page. So that is the basic head section of the page. I hope everyone understood these points. Clear? Everyone understood? So what is the purpose of meta, link, and title, right? We are going to learn more about meta in later stages. We are going to understand so many things about meta. Here we just learned few basic things like character set, keywords, description, HTTP. Some more options will come situation wise, you will learn about them. Next, after the head section, we have the body section. Already I told you, body section comprises of content to display inside the browser. That means in the browser workspace, what content you want to display, that is designed inside the body section. That means it contains the content to be rendered directly inside the browser. Suppose I return welcome to HTML. Automatically, this will be rendered and displayed inside the browser workspace. Now you can see the content. What you want to show in the browser workspace that you have to design. Actually, you should know that when you are watching this, you should know this point that generally, so this is, yeah. Okay, so generally this is address bar. This is address bar. So this is address bar. We call that as address bar. Address bar. And this is title bar. We call that as title bar. And this white space, we call it as workspace. We call this as workspace. So that means whatever you want to display inside that workspace, you want to show inside the workspace, that you have to define in the body section contents. So you want to show in the workspace. So generally what we designed in the body section, it will be displayed in the workspace. Body section is defined by using body tag. And body tag comprises of a lot of attributes. It have a lot of attributes. What are the attributes of the body tag? Generally, body tag attributes. So we have the body tag. Like we can define BG color. We can define text. We can define background. We can configure a link, v-link, and we have margins, left margin, right margin, top margin, bottom margin. All these are the options. These are all attributes of the body section, means body tag. Body tag contains some important attributes. These are all the attributes of the body tag. So when you design the body tag, we need to know the attributes of this body tag. What are the attributes of body tag? So many important attributes are there. Suppose you have some title or you have some paragraphs. Suppose I will copy some paragraph. I will copy and paste some paragraph information. So let's copy and paste some paragraph. Okay. I'm copying some paragraph and pasting that here. So some paragraphs of information is there. So this is the page. This is how it looks like. That is the page. Now when you are designing the page, so the body section, that is the body section, can be defined with so many attributes. What are the attributes of body section? Body can have BG color, which is used to set a background color. As of now, you give the color names that you know. Later, we will learn how to give the color codes. We will discuss about that. BG color, any color name. Suppose I given the color name as some yellow. Initially use color names. Later we will learn about color codes. Okay, yellow. And you can see this is background color. The body background color will be set to that background color. I don't want to refresh every few seconds, so I will remove this. Okay. This is the background color. This is the background color. You can put a background color, so some like red. And if you want to change the text color, we have to write text. Text is equal to white. Text is used to change the foreground color. It will affect entire body. It will affect entire body. It is going to affect entire body. So we have two attributes, background color and text color. Instead of color, you can put a background image. You can put a background image. And this is very important. In web development, remember, you can put any background image, but don't try to access the image physical path and use the physical path. Never use physical path. So physical path will not work for images. For example, see here, especially when you are running on server, observe carefully. Suppose in our computer, so in my C drive, in my images, I have an image, so like some shoe, it is a JPG file. This is the path of that file. So I am writing that path. Here, instead of background color, I am using background image. I am writing the path C:/images/ and here we are writing some shoe.jpg. We see generally people who are learning HTML and all these. If anybody writes the path like this and try to use that resource, this is 100% not recommended. This is completely rubbish code, right? But you may say that, sir, it is working in my computer. We don't care. We don't care whether it works in your computer or not. So it will not work when it goes to server. So 100% you should never write physical path. So in web development, you should never write physical path. It will work only when you are working on file server. When it goes to web server, every website should run on web server only. When it goes to web server, it will never work. So for example, see, I given background image here and I'm opening here. If you remembered, I told you we can see background image is not coming. Background image is not coming. But people can open in this way. They can go to our physical path, full stack 4 p.m. In that we have public. In that index page, they can open that index page directly here. Then background image is there. Now they will say that, sir, here it is working. So what? If it is working, so what? We don't care. Why? Because so our websites are not accessed through physical path. If it is working, so what? We don't care. It will never work in live. That's the reason when it goes on web server, it's not working. We have to design for web server, not for your physical path. So don't ever write physical path. Then how to put that image? So what you have to do is first copy that image into your project folder. That means we have assets folder. right click, reveal in File Explorer. It opens our project. Open the assets folder and copy your photo here. Copy and paste that image here. That means you have to copy some image and keep it here. Now we have to use that. So, and define in the page. Now we have to use virtual path. Yesterday I told you, it is not present in the same folder. If it is not present in the same folder, I have to come out one level back, .. If you want to go more than this, you can again use .. It will go one level back to that folder. You can go any levels back. Initially, only one level back. In that, we have assets. In assets, I have shoe.jpg. I'm applying that here. This is virtual path. This is the right way of defining. So you can see now it is working fine. Now, there will be so many questions like I want in the center, I want small, I want transparent. You can do, but not in HTML, in CSS. So we can make that image center, we can change the size of image, you can make it transparent, you can do everything, but with CSS. So we are going to learn CSS later. Initially, what we can do in HTML, that part we will discuss. How we can make it more effective in CSS we will learn. So HTML can't do. So HTML cannot center your image, cannot reduce the size of the image, that you can do with CSS only. So initially we have a background image. So body has two attributes, body BG color and background image. Text, you cannot write both of them. Means you cannot use both BG color and background. If you write both of them, only background will come. Color will not come. It means image will dominate. Text color you can change. For example, background is shoe and text is some blue or text is some yellow. We can change the text color. Text color can be changed. So the background and the text color. If you write background BG color, some red, so it will not work because this background image will dominate. So you can use either background color or background image, any one. So you can display that. So that is how we can set a background color and background image. These are the options. And remember, when you are writing the attributes, there is no order for attributes. In HTML, there is no order for attributes. That means you can write text first, you can write BG color later, or you can write BG color first, text later. There is no order. You can write anywhere. It doesn't matter. So for the body tag, you have the attributes BG color, text, and background. We have margins, left margin, right margin, top margin, bottom margin. You can observe here. This is the page content, and content is exactly so on the border of the browser. I want some space from top. I want some space from left, some gap. I don't want exactly on border. Then you can do that. So just what you can do is, suppose, so background BG color is light gray. So background color is light gray. It will give you light gray. And here I will give text is equal to white. Text is white. So we put some dark cyan. Okay. That will be like this. Okay. Now I want to adjust the margins, and you can write here like top margin. Top margin, how many pixels? Yesterday I told you pixels. So top margin some 20. And you can see that from top it will move 20 pixels down. So top 120, you can see it will move more down. So top space, how much you want? I want some 50 top margin. You can see it will be 50. Similarly, left and right margin. Okay, we can write left margin as 25 pixel. Right margin also 25 pixel. You can adjust left right margins. Some space between the left and right margins. And you have top and bottom. You can adjust top and bottom margin also. So for bottom margin, you need some content below. We can also give bottom margin as 50 pixels. That means it will adjust everything. So, but bottom, we need to have some content below. So we can adjust the margin. Left margin, I will say some 45. Right margin 45. It will adjust left, right margins, more space. So we can adjust the margin. So body have these all margins, left margin, right margin, top margin, bottom margin. We can also change alignment. Align is an attribute which is used to change the alignment. It is used to change the alignment. We can change alignment of content, left, center, right. Justify. Justify is nothing but it will reduce the raggedness in right edge. So right edge of paragraph, it is uneven. We can reduce that raggedness and keep it clean by using justified alignment. So we can write here an attribute anywhere. I'm writing align. So align is center. Align center, you see the paragraph wraps to center. Suppose I will use align as justify and it will show a block-like appearance. So right side unevenness, it will reduce. So we can give the alignment of the content inside the body. So the left alignment, center alignment, right alignment, we can keep some margins. We can adjust the margins. So that is generally how we can configure. So this is the attribute for alignment. So we have margins to set the space, alignment to display the content to center, left, right, and justify, background color and background image, text color, and you have A-link, V-link. So, but these you can use while working with hyperlinks. We haven't learned hyperlinks. We will learn later. But just watch the concept. So don't try them because for that you need to know hyperlinks. But see the concept, just concept so that you can understand. Generally, in a website, we can have some links. Suppose just temporarily for your understanding sake, I will remove all this. And here I will create some links. You see here, links are designed with anchor. So this is like some eBay shopping. And link have href is equal to http://www.ebay.in. So we have another link. So we have another link is http://www.amazon.in. So Amazon. You can observe here when we open this, these two links are like this: eBay, shopping, Amazon. Suppose I am opening another link I am defining. href is equal to, so some options like some other websites. So any other website we are having. Suppose I given some website name, IMDb. This also we may visit that http://www.imdb.com. You can see that these links you can observe. This color is different. That color is different. imdb.com. It will change now. So this is color is different. This indicates that eBay, Shopping, Amazon are already visited on this computer. That means we already visited them. If they are visited, we call them V-link, visited links. And this is not visited. That is the default color. Actually, A-link is to change color of active link. V-link is to change color of visited link. Visited link color you can change with V-link. Active link color you can change with A-link. Not normal link color. Normal link color you have to change with CSS. So CSS will allow to change different, but in HTML only two options are there. Suppose you see now, I am writing here in the body, V-link means visited links. I will put green. And you can observe that visited links will turn to green color. So that means they are visited. And A-link, active link, red color. You can observe that active means when I go move the mouse pointer onto it and hold down the button, when I hold down the mouse button, then it is active. That is red color. And when I click on it, suppose IMDb is in blue color because it is not visited. I click on IMDb, so it is visited. Okay, after visiting, go back to our page. You see that its color is changed to green now. That means visited color link will be different. Not visited, it is different. So the colors will change according to the state. For visited colors, different. Visited links, different color. For active means hold down, it is active. So not visited, another color will be there. Not visited color we can't change. That we have to change with CSS. Now don't come with a complaint like, sir, how to create links. That is not current part. You don't worry about what is href, what is anchor. You just understand the concept of these two attributes. You don't need to try links. Later you will learn. Because they are body attributes, we need to discuss them. Later we will use them when we learn about links. So you don't need to worry about how to write a link, how to navigate and all. You need to just understand the purpose of these two attributes. So that is V-link and A-link. So these are all the attributes of body section. So body tag comprises of all these attributes. Body section is defined with body tag, and body tag contains all these attributes, which makes body little better. Background color, background image, text, A-link, V-link, margins, alignments and all. In an old version of HTML, this is enough. Everything we keep inside the body. That means tables, images, links, paragraphs, everything we keep directly inside the body. But due to that, we were facing so many problems. Body section was not SEO friendly, search engine friendly. Why it is not search engine friendly? Because so many problems are there for the body section. So what are the problems in the body section is, suppose I have a page, and this is the page body section. This is the page body section. In that we have an image. So in that we have a picture image. So this image is like some rose, something like this. And we have a caption, figure caption, as the caption is flower. Okay. And below that, so we have another one. So this is like some Range Rover. And here we will have a figure caption, car. Now what happens is, in the Google search box, someone searched for flower. That is the keyword. In the search box, they typed flower. Now the robot comes and crawls to this caption. That means it is matching. That fig caption is matching. Now, after matching, which photo it will display? The photo above or photo below? Which one it will display in search results? The photo above or photo below? That means the caption flower belongs to above photo or below photo. What do you say? Captions, where do we write? Above or below? We can't say. So sometimes captions can be written below, sometimes captions may be written above. There is no order for that. This is confusion for search engines. That is the reason you might have seen in Google image search. Observe in Google image search. Now it is better. Early days, few years back, when you search for any image, you will see so many images in the results which are not related to your search. Am I right? Have you observed? Have you observed when you search images in Google, you will find so many images. You will find so many images which are not at all related to your search. Then you may ask, like, why all these images are coming? I am searching for something else. Because the robots are confused with your images and captions in body, because all are present at one place. Then you may tell one point, like you may say that, then sir, why can't we put this caption on the photo? If you put caption on the photo, when you put caption on the photo, any caption on the photo, robots can't read them. So caption cannot be on the photo. You have to keep outside it. Then if I keep outside, confusion with others. These type of problems are there in the body section. So early versions of HTML, so many problems are there. These are the problems in the body section. So many problems in the body section. So to overcome these problems, to make body section more search engine friendly, they introduced some new semantics. What is the meaning of semantics? What is the meaning of semantic? That means, what is the meaning of semantic? Semantic is nothing but, in simple terms, to make you understand, we can say that semantic means it will show the content, so related to the concept-oriented content, you can say that. That means which concerned, which matters. That means, for example, we have advertisements. For advertisements, we have a separate semantic. For header, we have a separate semantic. For footer, we have a separate semantic. Semantic means the name tells its behavior. By the name itself, we can understand its behavior. Suppose if I use the name header, by using this header, what do you think header means? Have you ever heard about header? Header means generally the content which is displayed at the top margin of page. Header means which is displayed at the top margin of page. So footer means which is displayed at the bottom margin of page. Bottom margin of page. Generally, in footer of a website, what we keep? In a footer of website, what we keep? We keep copyrights, trademarks, right? Yeah. All such things we have to define them in the footer. Navigations, quick navigation, such things can be done. That means earlier, body section don't have these semantics. In body section, we have just directly images, directly paragraphs, directly tables. Everything we have to arrange in tables. That becomes very difficult for search engine to understand your page. That's the reason to make your body section more search engine friendly. Then in HTML5, they introduced new semantics. So body semantics, you can call semantics, semantic elements. In the body section, that means paragraphs, headings, everything will be there. Other than that, some new semantics came. What are those new semantics? We have like aside, we have like article, we have like dialogue, figure, like fig caption, like now, like menu, like main, like section. So like header, like body, footer. So footer. So we have like div, we have like span. All these are the semantic elements. These were not there in the old versions of HTML. Remember, other than that, so many will be there. Those are all general HTML, paragraphs, headings, images, tables. We are talking about the special new semantic elements introduced into body section. The purpose of these elements, to remember all these elements, all are containers. Containers means boxes. They keep some content inside them. Then what is aside? What is article? What is dialogue? What is header? What is footer? What is navigation? We have certain purpose for them. When you are designing a web page, you have to keep the content according to their nature and behavior. According to the nature and behavior, we have to keep the contents. So these are the new semantics. We will discuss what is the purpose, what is the meaning of aside, article, and all this. That means actually the body section. So this is the page body section actually. The body section contains several semantic elements now. The body section contains several semantic elements. Like if you want to show anything at the top margin, we have a header. If you want to show anything at the bottom margin, we have a footer. If you want to show between header and footer, we have a section. If you want some navigation, that means the top margin, we call this as header. The bottom margin, we call this as footer. Between header and footer, we have a section. Sometimes in the header, we can have just titles and all. That means logo, titles, we can keep in the header. Sometimes navigation. So left side in the section, sometimes we can have a navigation bar. That means here we can have a navigation bar. In that navigation bar, nav area, in that navigation bar, we can have a menu. In that menu, we can have options like home, like contact, like about, all these things can be there. So inside the section, we can keep our main content. Inside that section, we can keep our main content. We can keep some advertisements. Advertisements are kept in other options like aside. We can keep advertisements like aside. Aside. What is aside and all this we will discuss. That means I will tell you purpose of every block, every container, why to use, when to use. So the point is, now this makes your page more search engine friendly. Your search engine can easily identify that, okay, this is navigation area, this is header area, this is footer area, this is advertisement area. It can easily classify that. For that, you need all these semantics. You need to understand the purpose of these elements. What is aside, what is article, what is dialogue, figure. And we need to design them and create a layout by using this. So we can design one page layout with the help of all these elements that we will see in our next session. Tomorrow we will discuss about that. Okay. So tomorrow we will design a simple layout page with the help of all these options in the body section. Okay. So tomorrow we will continue with the body semantics. What are those and how to use them and how to design the pages. Based on that, I will give you some exercises now. You can practice. Tomorrow we'll continue. Okay. Right.